Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kate and Chris from WillsUpNetwork.com, and thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have wonderful Tony from Exodus Travels with us, but before we begin the presentation, I just want to remind everybody that for you to qualify for our two prizes, an Exodus cookbook and a $25 Starbucks gift card, you have to stay to the very end of the webinar. Also, if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, there is a chat box in your control panel. You can type in any of your questions and we will answer them at the end of the webinar. Thank you and welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, all lovely travel agents across the U.S. Once again, Tony here with Exodus Travels. My aim in the next 25 minutes or so is just to give you a little bit of an insight of what Exodus does and what we can do for you. But before we begin, I'd like to take us back just a tiny bit long time ago, back to 1974. That's quite a while ago. Those were the good old days when you travel, you hope that you would arrive before the postcard. Sometimes it was not the case. This is the actual footage of our first ever trip, where we took that truck from London, England, through Pakistan, that's right, 1974, all the way to the Himalayas. Look at that. I think the tour was meant to take 9 weeks, then 11 weeks later, we got somewhere where we were allowed to phone our homes and say, we're not going to make it back in time, and so on. Those are the good old days to travel. No Facebook, no ICQ, no WhatsApp, nothing. Obviously, things have changed since 1974, and you can see with this awesome video all the things that we can offer your clients, from those good old days of camping and staying under tents and so on. Eventually are fading, and now we're tapping into new ways of travel, new experiences. Anyways, that's who we are, and all these videos and a lot more I will be sharing with you on our YouTube channel as well. So anyways, this is my contact information. I'm in charge of eastern part of the US, but I cannot do all of that wonderful nation by myself. So we have two other BDMs, which of course, one of them being here, Kent. He's got his contact information right there. And of course, the wonderful Sheena as well. So between the three of us, we share one email as well, which I'll share with you later. And that way you can get a hold of us at any time. Like I said to you, 1974, those were the good old days, right? Now, 44 years later, we're still the world leader when it comes to active travel. So, and I'll explain to you what that means. At the end of today's webinar, you'll see that we have a lot of options. So in terms of active, hiking, cycling, mixed activity, and the list goes on and on. What I do want to let you know is that we have lots of great solo-friendly itineraries. So I'm just giving you a little sneak peek right there. On the bottom right is the cookbook that one lucky agent will win today. So thank you for tuning in once again for everybody. Just to give you an idea, small group adventure travel. We get a lot of clients from the UK and North America, New Zealand, and Canada, and of course Europeans on all of our trips. But the best thing about us is that in terms of the small group adventure travel, you're well taken care of. And I'm going to show you a lot of this. So at the end, again, this is all recorded, so you can go back and I'll share some links. But the most important thing is that awards. We're getting a lot of awards and nominated because we do take a lot of passion in what we do. Let's take a snapshot. Where are we today? Over 600 trips in over 100 countries. Remember, 1974 was one trip. That one that took us a long, long, long time to get there. And since then, of course, we've definitely upgraded big time to new and wonderful locations. So everything and anything that we do is with the responsible travel mandate on our heads, right? We want to make sure that our visit to the community, to the country, to wherever we're going is going to be benefiting the locals at always as much as possible. So one thing, we have a lot of projects online, but one that I'm very passionate about is this one called the Inspiration Project, where our aim was to take 2017 kids to nearby excursion, educational day trips. You want to go to a museum, or you want to go to a wonderful, let's say, wonder of the world, like the Taj Mahal, for example. So our leaders dedicated their time and volunteered their time, of course, to bring this generation, to pass on knowledge to the next generation and so on. So our aim was to take 2017 kids. We shattered that. We took over 2,300 of them. And again, not just sightseeing, or I went to the beach in Sri Lanka, or I went to go see an elephant in the Masai Mara, but also educational trips. The kids in Mexico City and ended up going to the Museum of Anthropology, which, in case you've not been, one of my most wonderful places I've ever visited by far. So it's called the Inspiration Project. But we have a lot more online, and you can have the list right there for you. So plenty. So please know, It's so good to know that you're working with an operator that does responsible tourism and practice it. We don't just say it, we actually do it. So anyways, bottom line is people want something different nowadays. They want to feel good, they want to have fun. And those days of going on a big coach tour, 35, 40 people, they're still there, but now people are looking for something different. You know, when you've sat in fun, you've gone to an all-inclusive beach resort and about 3 days in, like, I want to do something. my legs are getting tired. I want to do something. Let's do something. This is what the let's do something leads to, right? So who are we? Small group adventure travel. What that means is average 12 people on our tours. Maximum group size will be about 16. So that's always nice. And in terms of statistics, well, we're getting a nice 50-50 between couples and solo travelers. And one thing to note, we do not charge you single supplement if you book by yourself, okay? I'll explain to you later on. So if you're a solo traveler and you want to go to Vietnam like this guy did, yes, of course, you book by yourself. We're not going to charge you extra, which is quite nice. And people want this. They want to go into a wonderful region and learn more from a country instead of just going between A and B on a big bus and taking a picture from within the bus, right? Now, who's taking you around from A to B? Our wonderful local leaders. We use local leaders everywhere we go, okay? And that's a great thing. If we have a trip that's very difficult and you're ascending some sort of Mont Blanc or some very special, crazy trip, then we will bring a professional. But for the majority of them, all local leaders, professional Egyptologists, wildlife, marine biologists, you name it, we have them all for you. So this is our wonderful YouTube channel, which you will see a lot of videos that we have loaded there. I want to show you a little bit more, but because the webinar technology nowadays, I didn't want the video to be lacking a bit more. So I'll send you the links to this YouTube channel and the ones that we're talking about. So we know who's taking us from A to B. Where do we spend the night? Authentic, locally owned accommodations everywhere we go, ranging from 3-star all the way up to your 5-star. So let's go either to the chalet on the top right, Mont Blanc, and then as you go left to right, you're going to be seeing, of course, some phenomenal ice hotels to hotels in Puglia, Bedouin camps. The list goes on and on and on. So here's, for example, everything. Again, all the accommodations locally owned. Yes, we have enough to go ahead and make our own Exodus hotel somewhere, but we don't want that. The money stays back in our pocket. We do not want that at all. So let's get the money and the resources back to the community, right? So this is a nice, pretty place, isn't it? That's where we spend the night before trekking for the gorillas, for example. So it's not bad at all, right? In addition to this, we also have some premium tours, and that means, or even premium departures within a regular tour. Same adventure, it just means more comfort at night. And when you go on our website, you click on any tour you want. Let's say this one being for Vietnam, and you click on the accommodations tab right there, you're gonna get a nice little sneak preview on what that kind of accommodations will be used in. So I'm gonna show my only video in the webinar. I hope this is going well. This is a 3-star locally owned converted farmhouse in Tuscany. Do you not want to be staying there right now? I know we'll be getting a lot of polar vortex and the snow and the shovel. I'm sure we like that, but wouldn't you want to be doing this in Tuscany? This is what makes the trip authentic for us, is looking to stay at these wonderful locally owned accommodations. So in terms of brochures, we got them right here for you. We have 4 of them. So if you don't have them, I'll send you the link to them and you can order them yourself. So cultural, cycling, walking, and self-guided. So big trips, lots of great things. We have many ways to sort of get you prepared for that big Kilimanjaro trip, or one day I'm gonna make it to Everest. One day, Tone, mark my words. Great. I got fitness plans to get you there. This year, I'm going to Mont Blanc. I'm excited for this. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm gonna be in Mont Blanc and I'm gonna follow this fitness plan because why not? I'm gonna try it. And I'm looking forward to doing it. So we have a lot of these fitness plans for the people that may need just a little bit more than just lapping the mall here and there. Now, in terms of all the tours, whether they're active or not, we're gonna grade them from a level 1 all the way to a level 10. Level 1s are easy, then your 3 are more moderate, and the list goes on, right? But look at the top, all the different styles and the different ways to travel with us. So guided groups, the self-guided, families, you name it, a lot for you. So let's get some things started. Walking and hiking. So this is our brochure. We've introduced about 27 new trips and a lot more. Like, I'm getting an email every week. Hey, it's a brand new trip. Another trip, and that's just the way it's going to be from now on. Under the guided group format for walking and hiking, we have 2 ways to do it. Number 1, center-based holiday. You know you have your clients that one day I want to go do an adventure, but I find packing and unpacking and moving every 2 days and having to look under the bed is too much adventure for me. I don't want that. Great. Why don't you send them on a center-based holiday? So where you'll spend the entire week in one hotel and you'll do all the day trips. Like our #1 selling tour for the entire company is walking the Amalfi Coast. And for this very reason, look at the accommodation spending, you say, the entire week. Locally owned, 3-star, you got a pool. Tomorrow we're doing a day trip. We're gonna go up to Capri, great. The next day we're gonna go up to the mountain San Tresimo, sure, great. If you don't wanna go because you don't feel good or you just wanna stay back in the pool and work on your tan, your call. We're gonna come back. And that's the best thing about a center-based holiday. So it is after 2 o'clock and I can talk about wine, and this is one of our most popular walking in wine tours. Yes, I got your attention now, right? You spend the entire week in one hotel, which is this one, Villa Soligo, which is situated an hour north of Venice. And here, the same thing as well. Go do all your day trips, and you come back to the same hotel. Isn't that wonderful? It's so great. Mont Blanc highlights the same thing as well. And look at that, the chalet, the hot tub, and kick your feet back after hiking 10, 12 kilometers and so on. The other way to do our guided walking and hiking is what we call the point-to-point. Of course, you get to see more of the country. So you think about 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night there, 2 nights there, and so on. So a couple more popular ones we have, of course, Everest Base Camp. Who is there? Anybody here? That's my dream one day, and this fitness plan will take me there, I'm telling you. But before I do that, I probably want to try Kilimanjaro just to, get myself up to that par level. And these are 2 popular point-to-point. 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night here, 2 nights here, and so on. You want more information about these treks? You come talk to us. We're the experts at this. But some things that I know you can share with your family and friends, and they'll actually want to listen to you. Oh, what, you're going to Ireland? That's a great trip. We have walking tours in Ireland, and this one, for example, is a point-to-point. Greece, so many of us have seen the movies and so on, but have you done a walking tour in Greece somewhere? We do that for you. 3 different islands, 3 walking trips, which is so great for you, right? And of course, another one more popular one is the Camino de Santiago. We do that only in España, and this is a very, very popular trip. 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night, 1 night, 1 out, and so on. And of course, we make sure that you collect your stamps for the Pilgrim's Passport, which is quite nice. And since back to popular demand, people are talking about the wine. Let's talk about it some more. And this one here for me is phenomenal. It's a premium walking in wine tour for Portugal. It's a brand new wine region. And look at the places you get to stay along the way. 5-star, 4-star, 5-star all throughout, which is quite nice. And these are all locally owned. Okay, so this gives you a nice little snapshot of walking tours, which is quite nice, right? Now, when it comes to cycling, the same idea. We have guided and we also have self-guided, just like the walking ones, but I'll tell you about the self-guided ones in a second. When it comes to this one, we've launched about a dozen new trips. We have over 100 trips in 40 countries, which is quite nice. So what I will tell you is these are the 4 styles: road to off-road to self-guided. Those 3 will include the bikes. If the one on the bottom right called Drop Bar, those are the more professional Tour de France style people that are going to most likely bring their own 10, 15, 20,000 bike. So we don't include that one, Drop Bar, but all other ones we do. Again, you don't have a bike? No worries, we're going to include it for you, right? And this is the best thing about doing a guided group tour, is that you're going to have a vehicle support. So that afternoon you had Subway in Italy when I told you not to, and you don't feel good, get in the van. Or that hill that is going to be a more challenge you can think of, get in the van. Or if you just want to make an excuse to take more pictures of the group, get in the van. Your call. You're going to have fun. That I can promise you right now. And if you do need a little bit extra support, we have these amazing e-bikes, which are only in Europe at the moment. So we have about 30 odd trips that can feature an e-bike rental. We're going to have a lot more for you. So you still have to pedal a little bit here and there. You can sit back with your glass of wine and cigar and let's do a little bit of work for you, right? Now, I've just picked some trips that I thought would be very popular for North Americans, which are this one, cycling Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. I never thought about that before. Go on our website. You'll see at the bottom is our cycling profile. This tells you how many kilometers or miles you're expected to cycle that day. Now, when you pull up the actual tour on our website, you'll see a lot more. You'll see a lot more information there. So, is this tour a moderate? Is it leisure? Is this really extreme, Tom? Here you go. So these are level 4. We'll tell you the minimum age, the group size. Again, when you click on accommodation, it'll give you a nice little bit of idea of what we're doing. Most importantly, on the bottom right, view the trip notes. So as soon as you click that trip notes on the bottom right, you're going to get this information. And this is more of things that you and your clients will want to know. What am I doing on day 1? How long am I going for? Is this included? What's not included? all the things, even the hiking one. Am I ascending 1,200 meters or am I descending 500 meters? Everything is there for you in the trip notes, okay? Now, in terms of cycling, I can tell you all about it, or I can show you my second video. Sorry about that. And this one here is a day in the life of someone on our cycling Croatia trip. This is the Dalmatian coast. Now, I'm just going to give you a minute here to just ingest this. It's phenomenal. We have great support staff. Our guide will give you the map and everything, and look what you get to do on a cycling trip. Oh, it's phenomenal, isn't it? I find this a much better way to see a country than flying between point A and point B, or taking overnight buses, or taking day trains. I love cycling. Our cycling for us has been exploding. Everybody's doing that. So what's our #1 selling cycling trip for the company? This is it. Cycling Vietnam, and it has been for a very long time. So going northbound from Saigon all the way to Ha Long Bay, not only are you gonna have some phenomenal food, and if we've not been to Vietnam, I love Vietnam so much. Pretty flat country. A couple little passes that make you question, oh my God, am I gonna do this in 3 hours or not? But aside from that, look at this. You're on the roadside, you're enjoying yourself, you're getting led by the guy showing you this is this, this is that. Get some to have some delicious snacks all along the way, and fruit and what have you. And look where you spend the night. And if you've not been to Vietnam, please put that on the radar, right? So that's Ha Long Bay here itself. But we also have some premium cycling trips like Porto down to Lisbon. Portugal, I don't know about you guys, but this year and the last couple of years, you say, Portugal has been booming for us. Everybody wants to go to Portugal. So you can cycle it, do it in the premium, and look at the kind of hotels, 4-star, beachside, rooftop deck. Everything is locally owned. I don't care what you say, it's locally owned. So we're giving back to the community always. And look at these. Phenomenal, isn't it? Now, something different? Why not? We're doing fat biking in Finland. So we have a video on our YouTube channel for fat biking. Please check it out because it's such a phenomenal trip. And this, for us, we launched 2 departures last winter. They sold out. And this, we had to do a lot more. They all sold out as well. So again, people want something different. And favorable things to sell, great. Italian and Swiss lakes, anybody wants to do that. You can cycle that in 8 days, or if you want to go to Peru and cycle it. Other places that we have, of course, Japan to Jordan to South Africa, you name it. Of course, my colleague wanted me to show you this picture because he wants to be in these shorts, and just to show you what a day in the life of someone on our cycling trip feels like. So you have the vehicle support, and again, a great way to see the country as a lot different than being on a bus or a flight from A to B. So those are the guided stuff, but I mentioned self-guided for a reason, because self-guided is a different way to do these kind of tours. So for those people that are very independent and they don't want to have a private tour for the two of them, sometimes it's going to be pricey if you just quote them a private trip. So we have these self-guided trips, and this is how it works for you. So most of these are in Europe, except for one self-guided walking. We do it in Bermuda, which is phenomenal. That's right. So for the self-guided types, you have cycling, walking, and family style one. So instead of a guy telling you, follow me, we're going to go left, we're going to do this, and so on, you get a nice 20, 30, 40, 60-page booklet that tells you everything. Tomorrow, you're going to be doing this. Turn to map number 4, doing this, doing that. Basically, that is the guide. It's in a note format, so you get to go at your own pace. What I love about self-guided is that reason. You don't have to wait till the group gets up in the morning. And if I'm an early bird at 6 in the morning and I want to get out of here by 7, okay, well, I hope your wife is going to be happy with that too. So let's go for it. But if you have children, of course, you have no choice because they're going to be up at 6 in the morning anyway. So family holidays, these walking or cycling ones can also be geared towards them. So if you have that 4-year-old and the parents want to do something, but family trip's not going to work out, think of a self-guided for you. So, and if you do a cycling one, yes, we will include the bike, and you can probably get an e-bike option as well, which is quite nice, right? And because it's 2018, some of these trips include an app or a GPS route. And very important, you don't need Wi-Fi or data, which is nice. So I just picked out a few self-guided ones, which are pretty popular for us. Our bike and boat, Mount to Venice here. Look where you get to spend the night, so isn't it phenomenal? These are the kind of bikes you'll get to use along the way. You spend the nights in that wonderful boat, right? And this is where you have all your meals. So a lot different. Premium walking in England, we have that for you. If you want to go to Sicily, of course, I had to share this with you. Look at this, catching these magical sunsets. If you want to go cycling in Barolo and have some nice vino, absolutely you can. If you want to go to the Loire Valley in France, instead of these beautiful chateaus, and we even have a gastronomic one, which is 3 to 4 hour dinners with cheese plates every night. And for those who are vegans like myself, or those who are vegetarians or allergic to tomatoes or anything like that, please know that we can cater to all these special dietary requirements. So those days that you cannot travel because I can't have bread, well, too bad. You can travel because we can give you other options. So always keep that in mind. And lastly, about active, I promise you, no more active talk after this. Fitness trips, walking in yoga, and some fitness week trips. So you go for the entire week in Morocco or Estonia, and you're doing an exercise in the morning, whether you're running 5Ks, then rowing a biking boat, or doing an abs class, or doing an interval class, you name it, staying fit. We're listening to what people want. People want something different, so we have those for you. So, all right, no more active. Let's slow it down a bit, and let's talk about culture and wildlife. This our brochure that we've had for 44 years, and this shows you everything from food to family to winter, and the list goes on and on. So our top 10 destinations, you can see it right there. Out of the top 10, you'll notice number 3 is the only non-active best trip that we have. All the rest are walking and cycling. So just to give you an idea, okay, so number 1 selling trip, Amalfi Coast, then cycling Vietnam, and then highlights of Morocco. So just showing a couple of great trips that are for me very important cultural ones. This is the Central Peru. You're not trekking the Inca Trail. You're taking the train to Machu Picchu, which is nice. So we have those for you. Or if you want to go to Morocco and do the Marrakesh and the Sahara, look at the hotels you get to use along the way. Look at it's phenomenal. Again, locally owned. It gives you that authentic experience. We don't want you walking in there thinking, this looks a lot like the hotel in Philly we stayed at last week, which is not. We want to be always locally owned. Some things that are, different destinations. The 5 cents of the Silk Road, why not? 23 days, hit up 5 countries around with stand. You can't beat that at all. Food trips, yes, we've launched 3 this year, China, Spain, and Amalfi, in addition to the ones that we already have, Northern Thailand, Northern India, and all these food destinations. And not just somebody cook for you and eat. No, let's get your hands dirty. We're gonna cook together. We're gonna show you how to do these wonderful meals so when you get back home. So if you don't like guided group stuff and you have your own group, or maybe people wanna customize things, we have a tailor-made or an FIT department. And look at the kind of PDF quotes you're going to get back. So basically, do we go to that country? Yes or no? Yes. All right. We can customize things. For me, I'm always telling agents, put something new together. Like put a couple of days of walking with a couple of days of food, with a couple of days of culture, with a couple of days of wine team, anything that's very favorable. We can put that quote back for you right here. And look, this is what you'll be getting at the end of the day. So this quote, when it comes to the FIT or tailor-made, will come back to you net. The rest of the stuff is commissionable, and I'll tell you what that percentage is, okay? Now, family stuff, I'm going to be a couple more minutes here, guys, to show you some more slides. Family trips, well, I know what your question you're asking me is, what's the minimum age? On our website, you'll see it right there, 5, 8, 12, or 13, which is quite nice. And very proud to show you this, our reviews. So you can click on reviews right there of any tour, and you'll see them right there and then what people have to say about their experience on our trips. So we're still getting a 4.7 out of 5 after 44 years. It's a tough feat, to maintain. So winter trips, hey, we're just getting over that hump. But we have those trips as well for you. And of course, one of the most popular ones is this one, Iceland, the Northern Lights. And one of my favorite things, of course, this Saturday was the World Wildlife Day. We have a great promo happening as well for these wildlife trips. People can save up to $200, $300, depending on what tour you're choosing. Any big animal, your gorillas, to your orangutans, polar bears, Galapagos, you name it. We have a trip that gets you up close for these wildlife primates, to anybody, any big animal, the big 5 to the little 5, forgotten 5, you name it, we can get you there, right? These are the ratings for the wildlife tour. So the more pug marked, the more in-depth that wildlife trip is. You're not getting just 2 days of animals and then 5 days at the beach. That's not, if that's what you want, choose a tour that has less pug marks. So look at this one, Kenya. For example, I know what you're asking. Am I camping, Tone? Because that video shows people camping. I don't want to camp. This is glamping. All right, so glamorous camping. So we have some trips that gets you to do this, of course. And we have trips where you spend the entire time doing hotels and lodges. So I'll show that in a second. Another great destination for those who want wildlife, Sri Lanka. Look at the wonderful friends you get to see along the way, which is so beautiful. And of course, mountains to temples to the beach. And look at the accommodations you get to use along the way. Hello, what's happening here? Here we go, to some accommodations here. And of course, Sri Lanka has it all, from the beaches, the temples, great food. It's a different destination. And one of my favorite places here, of course, happens to be right here, Uganda, for our chimps and gorillas tour, where we'll include the permits to go see the chimps and the gorillas. You don't spend any nights camping. I want you to know that. Look at the lodges you get to use along the way, right? You'll see 13 primates, I hope, on this the sleeping lions at the very top. And this is kind of my way of showing you what a day, what my day when we went gorilla trekking feels like. So you're climbing, you're going through the forest, you're going with the guide, here's people, I know what people are going to ask me, like, how long am I trekking for? Well, these gorillas are wild, they're walking. So if your family happens to have a few espressos the night before and they're moving, you're going after them. My trek took an hour and 20 minutes, and it was pretty easy. And look what we got to counter along the other way. The other half of the group, however, their trek was about 2 hours and a bit. It's a little bit different than mine, but it is what it is, right? This is how they do it. So the important thing is we get you up close to the wildlife specialist, explains all these wonderful things about trekking and the gorillas for you. So lots of options there for you, right? And of course, you get an option to do the second optional trek the next day. Yes, people make fun of me in that way because we're twins. So, and this is how you get out from A to B using these small vehicles, which is quite nice. Now, questions you're gonna ask me, are all the dates guaranteed? Go on our website, hit on that tab that says dates and prices, and you'll see them right there. One option being available, the other one being guaranteed available. That's how you can tell the difference. How many people do we need? Normally 4 to guarantee the tour. Now, at the very bottom, you saw this. You do not pay the single supplement if you're booking by yourself. You only pay the single supplement is if you want your own room. That's the big difference, right? So, for example, tomorrow we're going live with our first 11 female departure trips that we have, led by female leaders as well throughout the world. So I'll give you the link to that on our follow-up email. And this one, once again, is if one single female wants to go on one of these tours, they book by themselves, that's fine. But if they want their own room, then they pay the single supplement. That's the huge difference between us and the others. So this email at the very top, agents@exodustravels.com. This is going to be our email address. So send any questions you have. Hey, I want some brochures, or I want a link to this, I want a link to that. Send it to us, right? So this one is our agent loyalty program. So you can come on any of our tours for 30% off. But once you make your first booking with us, that's all it takes, one booking, then you get 50% off on their trip, and you get a companion rate 30% off. And once you make your 10 bookings, then you get a free trip on us, which is quite nice. I'll send you those links so you can read it. But for those who have Facebook, you know how it is now, it's 2018, everybody has Facebook. We have our group for agents only, where we inform you of latest promos, FAMs, or even pictures of hotels, or anything to help you sell Exodus. Look for it, just type in Exodus Agent Adventure Club, join the group, and we're set to go. A couple more things, Agent Portal. This one, if you want a login, just go to that, just send us an email. I want to log in and so on. And then this is what you'll get to see, some of the trips that are guaranteed. You can see this online as well, but you won't be able to see, but you'll see here demographics of the group, who is over 20, who's over 30, who's over 40, etc., etc. It's kind of nice. So if you want to log in, once again, send us an email. And lastly, our online training academy. So for those who have not heard about this, we got 3 badges, earned them, and lots of great images for you. And right now, because it's such a great thing, our bucket list bingo. Well, pretty straightforward. Download the card, get online, choose one of these fabulous bucket list trips on us. So I'll send you the link to that as well. That's what's going on. And then don't forget about marketing opportunities. So if you ever want any flyers done for yourself, you can put your logo there, your information, and so on. We're here to help you grow your adventure travel business. So lastly, why Exodus? As you see, we have a lot of options. Sorry, I've tried to squeeze in 25 minutes. I'm just a little bit over the top here, but 44 years we've been around, and we have a lot of great trips that pretty much cater to all budgets and fitness levels, right? But we are the leading hiking and biking operator. There should be nobody else in your mind. And most important thing is we're giving you 15% commission on these guided tours. So these are escorted tours that are set to go. You just sell 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people onto this departures, no problem. For the FIT TaylorMade, different story. That quote comes back to you net. So if you have any questions, this is where I guess we open up the wonderful board. But again, somebody here will be winning a $25 gift card and a cookbook from us. So any questions for anybody? I'm opening the floor. All right, Kate.
Thank you, Tony, for this amazing presentation. We do have some questions. So do you work with multi-generation, and what is the best youngest and oldest mix?
We do work with some multi-generational, depending on what they're doing. If, let's say, the kid is 8 years old, then we can suggest for them to go on a family trip, but we also have those self-guided trips, which for walking or cycling, which really means that you can bring your 8-year-old, and the parents are the ones that are guiding them with the assistance of our 40 to 60 page booklet. But you can also bring your parents, so the grandparents, on this trip. So we do work with them. We don't have a multi-generational tour category, for example, that says parents must bring parents and children. No. So self-guided is a great way to do that. And another one, depending on the kids' ages, we might be able to do regular, shall we say, regular tours. So I will bring my parents and my kids on them. So depending on where you want to go. But yes, we do work with them.
Again, just a quick reminder, if any of the agents has more questions, please feel free to type them in and we will answer them. And the next question is, do you get any support on self-guided tours?
Yes, so somebody meets you on day one. This is what I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. But somebody meets you on day one, goes over the trip notes with you, which I hope you read when we send them to you a month ago, right? But you know how things are, right? So somebody meets you on day one, says, okay, we got this and this and that, we're wonderful. The best thing is that your luggage gets transferred from A to B. So you don't have to walk with your luggage. You don't have to cycle with your luggage. No, the representative on day one will tell you, just bring your luggage to the lobby and we'll transfer from A to B. And if you're doing a cycling one, well, that person is going to fit the bike for you, give you a repair kit for your bike and the trip notes and everything else that you need. Okay. And then you get a pannier bag as well. So you can leave you can bring some credentials that you need during the day. But yes, there is support on the ground on the self-guided ones. You're not on your own, but there's no vehicle support. That's the important thing. There's no vehicle support on these self-guided cycling because you're self-guiding.
We have one comment from a travel agent from Carol. She's saying that the presentation is very good and she really liked that.
Thank you.
And another comment was that travel agent is glad that they were on the webinar and travel agent clients want more active vacation now.
Clients from what?
And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in and we will answer them. And I will pass it on to Chris.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris from Wheels Up. Hey, Tony.
Hi, Chris.
All right. So, Tony, I'm actually going to take over the screen.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second, everybody. So everybody on the call right now, I'm actually going to ask you a quick question just before we begin. It is, do you know what Wheels Up Network is? Yes, no, or first time hearing about us? All right. And I'm going to be closing the poll question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for everybody who answered the question. All right. So, Tony, you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
All right. So just a reminder to everybody on the webinar right now, if you do have any questions for Tony, please feel free to type them in and we will answer them after I show you quickly what Wheels Up Network is. So we're a digital platform for you to earn, learn, and save. And Exodus Travels is one of our wonderful partners on the website. So for you to get their information, I'm going to quickly show you how to get there. There are 2 ways to get there. You can either go into the Learn More section, and there's a Sales Tool and Resources page right here, or you can click the big icon right here that says it. Everything on this page is in alphabetical order. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for the Exodus Travels logo, click that, and you will get all their information. So information from the latest webinar, you're going to find all of their travel or selling tips, any news that they've come up with in the recent times. If you're looking for your local BDM information, we have them right over here. So you see the wonderful Tony right at the top. Also, you will be able to see the videos of the 3 BDMs, and you will be able to get to know them outside of their knowledge of Exodus Travels. So as you can see in this little screenshot there's Tony, there's Sheena, and there is Kent. And we've actually broken them up into different videos, and you'll be able to see that in the specific post dedicated to that. any of these flex boxes here, so let's say you want to see more about their cycling tours, if you click it, it will drop down and there is information that you can find in each of these flex boxes. Also, you'll find their brochures here. You can click and it will pop up and you will be able to view their brochures, as well as you can download these flyers right here. So their agent guide, their tailor-made flyer, and any information. You will also be able to get access to their agent rates and how to become Exodus Travels agent adventure club, how to join that as well. All right, so Tony, I have a question for you. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right. The question that we have is, are you affiliated with any consortiums?
In the U.S., so we're not, we are, yes and no, not Virtuoso, not Ensemble. That will change very soon as this year is up. But as of right now, no, but of course, any agent can sell us and we don't ask you questions and we give you 15% commission.
Awesome. Any other questions from any of the other agents for Tony? Oh, what tours are e-bikes on?
Most only on cycling in Europe, and whether they're guided or self-guided, will show you under the what's included. We'll have a local e-bike hire optional, and we'll have that line under the cycling. So cycling in Europe can have an e-bike option. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from any of the other travel agents? Oh. Can you quote international flights, or is this something that travel agents will have to do?
Agents will have to do their own flights, but we do work with a company called airtracks.com, and we found that they're pretty good at, giving you the right combinations, so on, but we don't touch air. When it comes to internal flights, yes, if that flight's on day 3 between A and B is included, we will deal with that, of course, but we don't touch international air normally.
Awesome. And next question that just came in, are e-bikes an extra cost?
Yes, e-bikes are extra, whether they're on a guided or a self-guided cycling trip.
Okay. Any other questions?
We do have some FAMs running up as well. I should just mention this, but all that information will be on our Facebook group. And we don't bombard you every day. We don't post pictures of me having coffee and asking you if I look good. No. We only post information that helps you sell Exodus, which is normally 2 to 3 times a week. So that's a good way for us to communicate. Otherwise, we have a newsletter as well. So yes, we have many ways to keep in touch with you.
Awesome. All right. So just a reminder to everybody, I believe that's all the questions. If you do have any other questions for Tony, on the screen right now, you'll be able to see Tony's contact information. He's the top guy right here. You'll be able to see my little mouse swerving around. It might be too fast. Right over here. All right. So just a reminder to all the agents that we will be announcing 2 winners for one for the Exodus cookbook, which I actually have. It's amazing.
Yes.
And a $25 Starbucks gift card. So make sure that in tomorrow's follow-up email, you do open that and you will see who the winners are. All right. No other questions. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today. And thank you, Tony, as always. So energetic and wonderful.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, all wonderful agents out in the U.S. And anything you need, we are around, okay? Thank you once again.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.